And speaking of the Nano website, if you want to add me to your buddy list, I'm just Amanda Kiefer Dunn. This here says Nirvana concert, and it's really hard to tell. It's kind of faded over time. This character basically took his plot and ran with it.
Hi.
Hi. Today I'm just going to be continuing what I did yesterday in the car. I'm just taking that really long document that I had all my notes for book 2 in, and what I'm doing is I'm breaking down each little tidbit I write. If it's a piece of dialogue that I know goes in a specific scene, I'll write the title of the scene, and then I'll kind of bullet point the things that are said or the things that happen that I have planned out in these words. Hi. And I will go ahead and get those all in an order, so that way when so that way when I go to do the note cards that I have to put that information in, it'll be easier to just drop those right in because they're already laid out by scene. But a lot of the scenes that I'm putting information in about now, sorry, I lost my train of thought. There it is. I found out that a lot of the scenes that I'm making through the notes from my phone that I copied over are scenes that I don't have note cards for. So it's pretty exciting because going into this, I'm thinking, I mean, I had a general overview of what I knew, you know, maybe 10 to 12 major scenes that I knew I wanted to have in this book, but there's a lot of scenes in books. It's not just these major pivotal things that happen, it's the little tiny things that happen in between the major plot points. And I didn't realize I actually had quite a few of those scenes to kind of bridge the gap between big instances. So, yay! That's always good to have, but I know as I go along and plot and then eventually now write this book for Nano, I like to plan, but that pantser in me likes to come out when I actually start writing during Nano, especially if I do like a full meditation before I start writing, get my crystals out, call in my like muses and everything and start writing. It's like that's when scenes really take on a life of their own. And sometimes, like in book 1 and book 2, there's a relationship going on that I gave zero permission to happen. It was going to be a completely platonic relationship, and I'm not going to say who it was between, but there's a specific relationship that started platonic that as I was in the zone of writing during Nano last year and realizing this was more than one book and all that fun stuff, this relationship morphed into something it was never meant to be with my analytical mind. But now that this character basically took his plot and ran with it, I'm so happy with it. Now with the way things are, there is no other way. There could never have been any other way. This was the way it was always supposed to be. And sometimes you just don't know that when you're just plotting or, you know, getting ideas or thinking things out in your mind. Sorry, my child is crazy right now. This will be my only time that I'll be able to write today because I do have a senior photo session tonight. It looks really nice out today. Like, I don't know if you can see how nice it looks. It is freezing cold. It's 35 degrees right now at the height of the day. And then I want to come home and probably take a hot bath and unwind, so I won't get any writing done tonight. Oh my god, this kid. Why do you have my blanket up here? I will probably go because this one here is full of energy and I have a lot more moving around and piecing things together to do, so I will bring you with me to do that. It's pretty boring, so I probably won't film that much of it because it's just very repetitive. Cutting, pasting, moving, deleting, what have you. But that's what I'm going to be doing, so come along with me and we'll do this together.
Here we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to.
Today is Saturday, October 12th, so we are well into Preptober, and I'm making some pretty decent strides. I still haven't gotten to plug in all my information from my note cards yet, but that is on my to-do list today. I'll just go ahead and walk you through what all I have planned to get done today. I have 2 critiques that I need to have done for tomorrow's critique group. It might just be 1. I'm still waiting to hear back from the other girl, and she is our municipal liaison for our Missoula chapter of the NaNoWriMo write-in, whatever that thing's called on the website. And speaking of the Nano website, if you want to add me to your buddy list, I'm just Amanda Kiefer Dunn, 3 words, just as it's spelled here on my channel. So if you want to look me up and add me as a buddy on there, feel free. They went ahead and wiped all the buddy slates clean, so there are a few people I'm like, how am I going to find that person? I don't even remember their username, but it was fun watching their progress last year, so I don't know. I'm still like kind of upset that they cleared the buddy list without at least having a way you could remember who all was on that list so you could add them. I had one pick a card reading video to edit for my other channel, which I am now exporting from Premiere, so that's done. I can actually cross that off. And then my next order of business after that would be to upload that to my other channel. And if you want to check out my other channel, it's mostly pick a cards and tarot readings. It's just The Done Creative, 3 words. And then I have another Preptober vlog that I need to edit, which I'm probably going to put off till tomorrow because I want to dive into some Preptober stuff today. Anything I can put off till tomorrow, I'm sure gonna. Clean office, that's probably something that I'm going to do tomorrow. I have a lot of little things here that need to be put away. My last order of business is just to upload the images from my senior session that I had on Thursday to my computer, so that I can clear the card and do his twin sisters photos next Thursday, and some of him and his twin sisters. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of senior photos that I need to be editing, and a lot of words I need to be plugging in my outline. But as far as my outline goes, I don't think I wrapped up my last vlog that efficiently, so I'll just give you a recap of what I didn't really say was getting done last time.
I have what I was calling book 2 notes. Anytime that I knew something that I needed to remember and kind of run that thread into book 2, I put a note in that book 2 notes section saying, okay, let's finish this out in book 2, or if I got an idea of a scene for book 2, I'd go ahead and plug it in there. And then I'd also have it on my phone a lot. That big, long, 10,000 word notes document. I had it in the binder in Scrivener. I copied that to my new document, so I had it, but the pieces were so jumbled. Like, stuff for Act 3 was above stuff for Act 2, and Act 1 was all over the place. Like, I mean, it was just a snippet of dialogue, snippet of a scene, and that same scene, maybe 4,000 words down, was more information about that scene, so it was just a mess. I mean, I just started a new paragraph for any new thing, and it was just a big cluster. But what I've been doing, basically since Preptober began, was slowly chugging away through that document where I have Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, just chronological order of the things that I have. And then things that I know I want to talk about but I don't have like a full scene fleshed out, I just have a little header that says miscellaneous scenes. There might be a snippet of dialogue that I thought was kind of funny that I could add to a scene, but I don't know what scene yet. And I'm like all over with my hands today because when I talk about my books and my work in progress and all that, I just get really excited and then my body starts getting excited. So I'm sorry about that.
I have finally finished going through that whole 10,000 plus word document, and I have it in order, at least by acts. I mean, some of the scene orders might flip-flop or switch, but everything that's going to happen in Act 1 is in Act 1, and, so on and so forth. So most of the things are where they should be, or a rough idea of where I think they should be at this point. Again, things will probably change once I start writing. My characters have a way of, I can plan till my dying day, but once I start the writing, the characters take on their own life and make things happen. I finished going through that whole thing. All the notes in my phone that I emailed to myself to put on that are all fleshed out and put where they need to go. The only thing I have left to do is go through all the old character profiles in my book 1 draft and make sure there's nothing in there that I need for book 2. But if there is, I'm going to cut it and put it where it needs to go in book 2. I did copy over the character profiles and then just kept the information that is relevant to book 2 or that's backstory from book 1 that needs to be told in book 2, and then I added any new characters that are coming along. Well, I have one character I didn't really flesh out quite yet, and she's a pretty important character in the second book. She wasn't in the first book per se. I need to go through and flesh that out, and then once all those character profiles and information are in the order and the correctness that I want them to be, then I can get to this chunk here. Doesn't look like much, but I'll just take this for instance. It says Seattle trip, October 1994. Front and back, and then front. That's a chapter. I don't know if I mentioned, but let me go to book 1 here. So like this here says Nirvana concert, and it's really hard to tell. It's kind of faded over time, but I highlight what it is that I have plugged into my Scrivener document so that I'm not confused as to what I have implemented into the document or not. It's easier for me to do it this way than to cross it out, because when I cross something out, sometimes I can't read it later, and if I have to go back for some reason, probably never will, but if I have to go back and reread this, it's easier if it's highlighted than crossed out. You're not here to see my system, I don't think, so I'm just going to shut up. Oh, and as it stands now, my camera is on top of my computer right now, but I have almost 12,000 words in my outline, and that's pretty crazy. I don't think I was anywhere near that with book 1. A lot of new scenes and ideas have come to me for book 2 since last Nano. When I put it on the back burner, it still wouldn't leave me alone, so I've been still getting information for that to put in. But another note, this will be in commission again soon, hopefully, that once those are fixed and I won't have that issue with the sticky keys anymore. And then I'll be back to my tiny, beautiful little princess here, because lugging around that huge MacBook Pro, I'm not used to it and I don't like it. I've been rambling for a very long time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and shut my mouth and get to work. Okay, let's go, guys. Come on.
If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you